Welcome to the Black Delegates Podcast. Today's date is March the 4th, 2019, episode 52. I'm here with the compadres. I don't even know what compadres really means.
That's racist.
What does it mean, Paul?
That's definitely racist.
Brown delegation, you should know.
It's buddies, it's friends, homies.
It means buddies and friends? Okay, all right. So my compadres, the infamous one, Ghetto Phenom. What's up, man?
What's good with it? Another day, another dollar.
Yep, because we getting paid so many dollars from this podcast.
No, hey, I'm getting money under the table. I don't know about y'all.
You sold the show off to somebody in the table.
Exactly.
Ah, dang. All right, and the man who's every thought's best friend on Facebook, mutual friend.
First of all, it's a burner Instagram account. It's not Facebook, but thank you.
Box wide poppy.
What's up, fellas?
All right, man. Yeah, it just made me think about that because, you know, you always get those stupid friend requests and it's like recommended friends. And you look through there and I'm like, who knows all these thoughts? Because it's always one mutual friend. Looking through there, I'm like, it's probably Paul.
Man, I ain't been on Facebook in like 7 years, man. Come on now. You know it ain't me.
Yeah, I've been trying to go through and try to see who these people are.
Not in any official capacity, huh, Paul?
Right. In zero capacity. Look, man, when I was on Facebook, like, you just give me random stuff, like, man, you know, like bots and stuff like that. But like, man, I don't know who this person is. I ain't adding this, man. Just get out of here. So I just, man, forget Facebook. Facebook is trash, man.
The thing I don't get is what's up with all the weave accounts on Instagram. Like, you get all these random weave accounts trying to follow you.
I think that's Ish. You know, he's looking for hair replacement. You know,
what's that about?
So this just goes into his feed.
Yeah, somebody Googling it.
I don't have that problem on my Instagram.
So is he trying to sell you stuff like advertisements or actual people?
No, it's random. I can't believe y'all never got it. It just be
I don't be on
random
Instagram like that.
Like somebody follows you and you look at the profile or whatever, and it's just a random weave company, like somebody selling weave. It's like bot accounts because there's no real post. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. I can't believe y'all have not seen it because I've seen other people talk about it and people joke and say it's the feds or whatever. I just always block them because I'm like, I don't need nobody selling weave.
That's it. That's Ish out here trying to sell the Hawaiian
I don't follow
silky.
nobody but like comic book artists. That's all I got. So I don't get nothing like that.
It's all fitness models of mine, man. That's facts.
That's facts. Right. That's something we definitely need to hear from the listeners. We need to know what type of spam you get on Instagram. Do you get the weave spam? Do you get the Instagram honeys like Boxwine Poppy or Ryan? Would you say comic books?
Thoughts.
You would get comic book.
I get
I just get on there for comic book art. Like just artists that draw stuff.
I get the fitness thoughts trying to sell me like some creatine tea or something like that. That you know it's it's either done work or she's taking nothing but HGH on the side.
Okay.
That's all the things I get, man.
I feel like you got at least you subscribe to like 4 or 5 quote unquote premium Instagram accounts or Snapchat accounts.
Yeah, no, I'm too cheap for all that. Come on now, I'm still part of the cheap delegation. Come on now.
Instagram got a pay model for real?
No, I don't think not technically.
I was about to say okay. Like that's weird.
There are people who you
might as well.
Ish telling off on himself. You hear this? You hear this, right?
Never that. Oh, you know I ain't paying for nan.
Oh, well, Ish a hacker. That's why.
Right.
I'm sure it's not hard to figure out Instagram thoughts password. All right, so
enough meandering. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. This week in blackness. I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, go
this
first.
Week in blackness.
You should go because
let me go first, man. All right.
You gotta go first.
As y'all know, we normally start this podcast generally between 8:15 and 8:30.
Lies.
Our listeners don't know that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling them. Between 8:15 and 8:30 is when we come down to record.
Wait a minute. Before you get into there, you forgot to say, we are recording on March 4th. This is episode 52. Did you say it? I don't remember.
Yes, I did.
I wasn't paying attention.
We know you're not paying attention to the podcast.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening.
What show is this? All right, my bad. Go ahead.
That's all right. So between 8:15 and 8:30, we'll at least meet to be on Skype. We may not press record at that time, but we at least down here, we talking, we ready to go, doing sound checks and all that kind of stuff. So just before, I'm like, let me get ready to go downstairs, and my phone rings, and it's my mom. So you can't ignore mom's call. It could be something important, probably not, but it could be. So let me answer it. I answer, and she's like, how do you put an Amazon gift card? How do you use an Amazon gift card? Because there's no numbers on there. I'm like, you scratch off the back and tell her how to do all that stuff. She's like, oh, okay. So ultimately, she's kind of hinting around that, hey, do you want to give me some cash for this Amazon gift card? Which, and she was like, oh, so I can't actually use this anywhere but on Amazon, huh? And I'm like, I know she knows this. Pretty smart. I know you know it. But she's like, you ain't got nothing to buy here soon, do you? And I'm like, well, yeah, I got a couple things on pre-order. Let me see, if they in, because I was like, other than that, I don't. But I said, I probably would in maybe a week or so. I was just waiting on them to come in stock. So I checked on there. They was in there. Speaking of which, when y'all do y'all Weekend Blackness, I need to make this purchase. But in the meantime, she's like, okay, well, how can you get me the money? And I'm like, did you ever sign up for PayPal? I've been trying to get her to get PayPal forever. Because every once in a while, send her some money. And it's, we got to send it to my brother. And then she got to go get it out of his ATM. It's a big hassle. And I'm like, Mom, you really got to step up your game. It's 2019. You got to get on some electronic payments. So
but the program Black Ryan's Mama.
Right. I'm like,
it's 2019.
Get this PayPal. I was like, do you have
get
Square
Zelle,
Cash? I tell her about Zelle. I'm like, get something. And I know and she's like, oh, I do have a green app with a $sign on it. Is that it? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, didn't we try to do that before? And I'm like, we might have, because I said I probably got frustrated and was like, forget it. Like, I'll just send you the money the old way, because it probably was just taking too long. And then after we got into how to do it and what the process was for her to set up her account, I realized that's exactly what happened last time.
Yeah, you got to know your route. You got to know your route number.
It's not that difficult though. It's just not. No, but let me tell you the part we got hung up on. The part we got hung up on was she's like, what screen name should I use? And I'm like, Mom, it doesn't matter. Like, any screen name you want to use. I was like, just write something in there that you'll remember. And she's just like, oh, I can't think of anything. Make up one for me. And I'm like, Mom, if I make it up, you won't remember it. I need you to make one up so that you remember. Because otherwise, we're going to go through the same thing. And she's going to be like, what's my Square Cash name again? I don't remember.
But does she have a smartphone?
Yes.
So if she have a smartphone, she don't even need to remember it. It's just a matter of once the app is on there, once she's logged in, like she
Probably.
good.
Probably, but you never know.
Ish, what part of the story that Ryan's told so far makes you think that she's going to hit that button to make that statement right? Come on, man.
Right.
Hey, I'm
Just in
trying
case.
to
You're being
tell
very
him,
presumptive
we
here.
starting, 45 minutes late, 50 minutes late. I'm trying to tell him how he could have cut down that time. Just pick that name for her and keep it moving.
It's never that easy. Never that easy. And then she's like, she starts typing one of them in, and she's like, oh, now my cursor won't move. I'm like, your cursor won't move.
Well, she got a mouse.
Like,
she got a mouse plugged into her.
I don't know. I don't know.
talking
That's
about?
the problem. She's like, my cursor won't move. I was like, okay, Mom. I was like, she's like, well, forget it. I'm just going to, like, what can I put that ends in an A for my for my screen name? I'm like, Mom, you can't do that. You're not going to remember it. I was like, you just back out and come back in. She did that. And then she's like, oh, I think I already used this because maybe I could try this screen name. I think my debit card already in here. I don't really know. I'm like, Mom. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, man, they waiting on me on this podcast. And that's at this point, I'm texting y'all like, okay, shouldn't be much longer. We should be done in a couple minutes. No. What we say, 50 minutes later? 50 minutes, man.
And did she get set up? Did she get set up or no?
50 minutes. Yes, we finally got it set up.
Man, look, man, hey, man, this for 50 minutes, this better have been 3 digits on this transfer here, man. This if we talking about $12.95,
$75. $75 is a decent amount of money, but still. And then she's like, I said, okay, I just sent it. And I was like, all right, because I'm about to try to get off the phone. And then she's like, wait a minute, where is it at? Like, where is this money gonna go? I'm like, just look in the cash and you should see it and then cash out. And then she's like, I don't see that. I'm like, press the circle in the top left corner. She's like, I don't see that. All I see is request and pay. I'm like, the top left corner. The top left corner. You know how it is, man. I get frustrated anyway. I'm the worst teacher of all time. If somebody don't catch it, if somebody don't catch on about 2 or 3 times, I'm done. This was like talking to G trying to log on to the Google. Right. That's how bad it was. Where you be like, press the browser. He's like, what's the browser? What's the browser?
You know what my favorite thing is, man? Like, I don't know. You guys don't do this no more, but like when you go like sightseeing and like you ask somebody like, can you take a picture for me? Or just with your family, and you're like, can you take a picture with like, but with a real camera, not a smartphone, but just a real camera. Which I guess we don't have that many anymore. But every time, like it's always 100 for 100. Whenever you give somebody a camera, the button's always in the same place,
what
right?
Button you press.
But you always gotta show them like where the button's at. Like it's right. It's like, come on, you know where the button's at on the camera. You've held a camera for your life. It's always on the same. And
side. They don't ask you what button until after you already posed for the picture, right?
Right. It's always
and
like
then they be like, what button?
They're like, what do you do? It's like that button up there. It's like, geez, yeah. That's anyway. People just can't follow instructions.
That's how bad.
Terrible.
That's how bad it was. I don't think my mom listens to the podcast no more. But if she do, I still love you, Mom. But that was the most frustrating experience I've had in a little while.
Yo, welcome to my life, man. I do IT. Also do, people know I have the journalistic side, but also do IT as well. And so you can't imagine how many times, how many days where somebody comes up with this problem. And a big thing with folks is that they'll try to diagnose their own problem first, and they'll try all these crazy fixes or crazy theories on why their stuff isn't working, and I'll go in there and it'll take like 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh, this is a problem, and fix it. But a lot of times, especially when I worked in school districts where I was really working on a lot of computers, I mean, people say their computer is dead, it's not working, the monitor's turned off. People don't understand that their monitor, if they don't have an all-in-one, is separate from, the tower. So they'll turn the monitor off and they'll see the button on the tower is green. Like, why isn't it on? Well, you got to turn the monitor on. So simple stuff like that. Your mom is not a digital native, so she's just not used to all this technology. So you're gonna have to help her, man. You got to get that patience.
I got none, man. I got 0. I told you.
Yo, man,
I can't teach you to do nothing. If you catch on the first 2 times, wonderful. I'm in.
Yo, man, if I go to my mom's house right now, if it take more than
3 times, I'm out.
If I go to my mom's house right now, I guarantee she got the same VCR we've had in there for like the last 30 years, and the timer is still flashing 12 a.m. never been set. And look, ain't a Blockbuster in within 500 miles of her house, but for some reason she still got that same VCR sitting right there on the shelf. Ain't been used in decades. The clock's still flashing 12. See,
you sell that joint, you probably get a couple $100 for it now. It's a collector's item. It's an antique now.
Look, man, probably throw off so much heat.
Right, man. Go to Goodwill and get one for $2.
Man, word.
So how was your week at Brownness, Paul?
Man, I was good, man. Everybody was healthy here, so clean bill of health. Got out with the family a little bit. So the little story I want to tell real quick is like, man. So finally, something I waited my entire childhood never happened. It finally happened this weekend. So I just want to tell the fellas about this. Not really a Brownness.
Lost your virginity?
That too, but but that's for a different topic. We'll talk about West Pipes later. But so this is what we did. Saturday, it been rain. The weather been bad, man, for pretty much the whole winter, man. It's not been cold, but just a lot of rain, man. So anyway, the kids were sick. Well, kid was sick, blah blah. So we're gonna go to Showbiz, man. We're gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm sorry, Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
We can go. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Showbiz.
Wow, it's gonna be a callback here in a second. So we went to Chuck E. Cheese, man. And so we went there, man. The pizzas The pizza's trash, man. The pizza's
It's trash.
It's one step above CC's Pizza, but it's not good, man. So we weren't really there for the food. We were just there to play games, let the kid run around. They don't have the ball pit no more, but they got the skee ball. They got all the stuff like that. And so so I loaded the card with how they give you a little prepaid card nowadays. Back in the day, you had tokens. Right. Now they just load on a card. You swipe them, blah blah, play. So we playing with the kid, it's all fun. He's playing little games, kind of, he won't even pay attention for very long. Then he's off to the next game, and whatever. We just kind of follow around. At some point, the wife is like on a game with him, and I'm just kind of standing there. I'm like, well, let me go. There's like this one game. It's kind of like wheel of I don't know. It's like a big wheel, and you spin the wheel, and you know how you got when you were a kid, you saw those games. They had like the big ticket numbers, like. You land on this spot, you get 50 tickets. Land on this spot, you get 100. Yeah. Land on this spot, you get 200. Whatever. So out of the whole showbiz, this one game had the most. This one game that was playing had the most 1,000 tickets, right? And so we played it a few times, and I did pretty good. Like I got 20 here, 20 tickets here, 30 tickets here. Nothing special, but just like that. But then the kid was over there and with the wife for a second. So I was like, well, let me just go here and spin this one last time. We were down to like our last $1 or $2 on the card. Spin it, hit for the whole 1,000, man. Hit for the whole 1,000. Look, in my entire life, when you were a little kid, you know how you were just broke and your mom gave you like $5 to go into Showbiz or wherever, the arcade to play.
Right,
and you were
that's all
like,
you got.
And you were like, man, I need this many tickets to get, the good toy that's up there.
The big prize, yeah.
Yeah, you wanted like the real, the real leather NBA basketball, and it was like 40,000 tickets or something like that.
Right.
And you were like, I'm never going to be able to get that. But anyway, so hit it for 1,000. And so it went off, and it's counting down the tickets. But man, it's the new system is trash because, man, you remember when you were a kid, and not that I'd ever hit that much before, but you remember how like when you would play skee ball and you would tear it up on a skee ball game, and then all the tickets would just come out there, and then you could stunt on everybody in there. Right. You stunted on the entire place because everybody would look like,
because you had a bucket.
Man,
you had a bucket, right?
Man, you had to put them in your pockets, put them in your shirt. You'd be walking around with the cargo shorts or whatever like that. All it does is just count down on the back on the card, man. So nobody sees it. So I got no props.
Oh, for real?
For hitting that. Like no whistles went off. Like I felt like everybody should come around, bringing me free drinks, bring me free pizza. I got none of that, man. I was upset. I was like, man, where's the fun gone, man? So anyway, that's all I have.
Man, it's been a long time since I've been, because last time I went, they gave me tickets.
You way out of there, man. No tickets, man. It's just all in the car. But it didn't do anything, and I'm just like, okay. When I was a kid, I remember like when I got like 100, 200 tickets, something like that. You'd be like, oh man, kids would come up to you like, man, what'd you do, or something like that. And you thought you were big time for getting like 50 tickets. I hit 1,000, and nobody even batted an eye, man. Kid didn't say nothing. Wife didn't say anything. They're just like, oh, okay. That's good.
Do they have that one game still? Because it was still my favorite game, and you got a lot of tickets for it. It's like a video game tabletop. Like you look down and you can see the screen, and it's like you got to harpoon these fish. Harpoon these fish, and like a special fish come out that's worth like 10,000 tickets. And so, or points or whatever, and they give you tickets.
They had like one fishing game, but it was there was like a little reel that you would spin, but I don't think it had like 10,000 tickets or something like that. This was just
the one, it was electronic though, but it was like you got to harpoon the fish and bring them in. But that game was dope. I spent a lot of time on that.
But so I got 1,000 tickets, and I walked around after this to confirm. Like I think this is the highest amount of tickets I could get in this place. Maybe there was another game that had some rare thing you get like 5,000 tickets, but I'm pretty sure that was like either the highest or the second highest in the whole Chuck E. Cheese. And it still wasn't enough to get like the top. Like
it's never gonna be
the joints
enough.
On the top shelf. Like they had joints on the top shelf for like 7,000 tickets. Like who is coming here just saving up 7,000 tickets on this crap? Anyway,
you got to save up for the whole summer to buy something at Chuck E. Cheese,
man. So anyway, it's a ripoff, but I got them back a little bit. I got 1,000 tickets. I never done that before, so I was happy for myself. But I got zero props, no love out of it. So that's how it goes, man. What about you, Ish?
Man, my week was pretty basic. I really don't even have anything.
What sport did Ish play this week?
Exemplary to talk about. Well, I really didn't play any sports. I mean, of course, I did my normal Saturday basketball thing. I actually was supposed to have a game on Sunday. Told y'all I got into this little league, but it was canceled due to the weather. Paul, you mentioned y'all have a lot of bad weather, a lot of rain or whatever, cool temperatures, but we here in good old St. Louis have been getting a ton of snow.
Trash weather.
Got some more snow and ice this weekend, so basketball game was canceled, and I actually didn't find out. Like, I checked the website. It was all good. One of my teammates, the guy who kind of got me on, I text him. He said it was all good, but he was out of town, so he wasn't going to be there. And then ultimately they ended up canceling because the refs didn't want to travel. The guy who runs the team didn't have my number, so I ended up driving out there anyway. Luckily, the streets was clear by the end, so it was nothing. So I got a nice drive in the cold weather on Sunday. But that was about it. But what I was going to talk about, and actually, I think I teased this a couple weeks ago, and then we missed a week and had other things going on, so I hadn't talked about it. So I'll talk about it now. And this is a journey that I'm going on. It's a quest that I'm trying to seek out, and I need y'all help with it. So, you know how, like today, when we started the show, and Ryan always says, hey, what's going on, Box Wine Poppy? What's going on, Ghetto Phenom? And I feel like since we've been doing this show, a little bit over a year now, that I've been appropriating other people's signature sounds. Now, what do I mean by other people's signature sounds? You say, Ice Cube had one where it goes, yay, yay. Yeah. Right. You know that. Yeah. When somebody say yay, yay, that's Ice Cube. If I go, we know where that's from. Okay. We 90s. We grew up in the 90s. Mm-hmm. That's No Limit, right, Master P? You got Rick Ross had his little, Pusha T got his, So I feel left out.
Don't forget Jadakiss. That stupid, he be doing. It's so dumb. It's the worst one ever.
Jadakiss, the Birdman had his,
Keep that one.
Everybody, we the best. DJ Khaled. So I need my signature sound. I don't know what it is. I got a couple of random sounds that I make, but they really don't fit for a signature sound. Like, I do like a little bird whistle. I don't know if I could do it on command. Let me see. My wife probably gets annoyed by it because I'll just be sitting home bored and I'll go.
That's weird, G. Yeah, you be doing that when you be thinking.
Right.
That's your thinking sound.
Yeah, but I can't bust that out on the podcast. You can't be like, yo, Ghetto Phenom, what's up?
And then come with the period sound.
Right, that's weak. That's weak. That's terrible.
That's trash.
That's 100% trash.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. If y'all got any recommendations, if the listeners got any recommendations, I got to come up with something because I feel like I'm just not complete without having a signature sound.
You know what? I agree because I feel like you need a signature sound so that way when I just say y'all name, y'all ain't got to really be talking. Just make your sound and be out. Like, that's what I used to like about G. You'd be like, welcome G to the show. He'd just be like, yo, yo. And that was it.
Exactly.
And you get in and out. Yeah.
And see, I've been doing it like, yay, yay. I do that sometimes. Or, I just
you'd be like, thank the listeners for joining the podcast today. My name is Ghetto Phenom. I love you. You love me. We are a happy family. Come on, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
So help me out. I'm working on it. Maybe next week I'll try out a couple. I'm going to compile a list over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to get that signature sound, and we're going to get it right. Because it got to be catchy. It got to be legit. It's got to be me.
It can't be EI like Nelly?
No, we can't jack Nelly.
You can do, uh-oh.
So that's all I got, man. We can hop into the topics.
Mine's going to be Juicy J. The heavy breathing from the 3-6 Mafia days.
Thought that was your signature sound already.
That's on the dirty phone.
Whenever I call your phone, that's all I hear. I'm like, what? Hello, Paul? Hello? What's going on?
Fat.
All right, man. Come on. Let's get out of these intros, man. It's 25 minutes in. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get in.
Man, we ain't doing no podcast for real. It's just Just talking.
Word.
All right. What we got? It's been a while. We ain't had a white collar crimes in a long time. White collar crimes. Oh, do I have a sound for white collar crimes? No, not anymore. White collar crimes. I'm sure you all heard this story before. Somebody named it "No Interracial Doggystyle for You."
That was not me. I can't take ownership of this one.
Yeah. Shout out to this dude. If y'all got a chance to see the video, I'm pulling it up now so I can make sure I get his name and where he's from. So this brother, first of all, here's your first mistake. Lives in Massachusetts. This is your first mistake. You can't be black living in Massachusetts and think you won't have problems, bro. Sorry. So basically, a Massachusetts woman was at a dog park and called the cops on a African American man because, get this, his dog was humping her dog. Whoa. So
Doggy style.
Yeah. That's the only way they know how to do it. My man said he took his pit bull up to the dog park, and the dog was humping hers.
Now, come on, it's a black dude with a pit bull. Let's just point that out here. I'm not stereotyping.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary right now, right? It's scary.
A black pit bull.
I might want to call the cops too. Why does it say he's a former attorney? But anyway, he posted several videos on Facebook. I saw the long version of it, and my boy, he was pretty thorough with his, man. He pointed out all the prior white collar crimes. He was just like, "You heard of Barbecue Becky? This gonna be you. Like, you heard of whoever. This is you. Like, you next." So, what y'all think about this brother and how he handled this situation?
Obviously the situation itself is ridiculous. They're at a dog park. People take their dogs there to run around and play. And one thing that's going to happen is dogs going to try to hump other dogs. Dogs try to hump people's legs all the time. A dog, if they're in heat or if they're just a little, horny dog, they're going to try to hump stuff. And I understand if you're an owner, you're not trying to have your dog humped. Then maybe you pull your dog away, put your dog on the leash, tell the other person, hey, please keep your dog away. We not about that. But to call the police on somebody over some dog, and the dogs, if you look at the video, of course, check the show notes. If you have not seen the video, we will have a link in the show notes. But the dogs are just running around, frolicking, playing. The dogs look like they're having the time of their lives. Yeah. Like they kicking it. This whole time while this lady is calling the cops and while the man and her going back and forth, the dogs are straight kicking it. Like having a blast. So the fact that she felt she needed to call the police, so she said her words were, "Your dog assaulted my dog."
Right.
So
hey, and it was funny when the cop was there and dude was like, "Look at this. Look at that dog assaulting this dog." This is what she said. My dog did.
Right. So clearly to me, you're going overboard, lady. You really just didn't want that black man there.
Look.
You didn't want that pit bull there. But it is what it is. It's a pretty easy call. Go ahead, Paul.
Let me go ahead and jump in here. Let me go ahead. Let me tell you why y'all both wrong. This dude is Jussie Smollett. This dude is faking, man. Come on, man. You coming in there in the dog park with a bunch of little old white ladies with their little tiny little teacup dogs, and you bring in the big old pit bull and let it get off the leash, and it's trying around dry humping these other little dogs, man. Come on, man. You got to get up out of there. And if you read the article, one of the ladies that actually worked at that dog park, which I'm surprised, there's a dog park that has employees, which is wild. And that lady says she agreed, get him up out of there because his dog was acting out of bounds. So it wasn't just one lady. It was
inappropriately.
It was multiple people telling his dog was inappropriate. Man, there's etiquette. I don't have no dog, but there's dog park etiquette, man. You got to keep the dog on a leash. You got to get him spayed or neutered or whatever you can do. You can't just have that dog in there trying to dry hump on these little white lazy dogs, man. Come on now, you just got to know where you at.
But you can't hashtag me to your dog.
Calling the cops maybe a little too much, but man, I'm not. He definitely need to get up out of there, man. Just if your dog is out there and it's much bigger, it's a pit bull. People are scared of pit bulls, man. You gotta get up out of there, man. You can't just be up in the dog part with your pit bull and let him run around humping.
I could see if the pit bull was attacking the other dogs. The pit bull was not. They were sitting playing around. You talked about having a dog on the leash. That lady didn't have her dog on the leash. All those other ladies there didn't have their dogs on leashes. I thought,
but they weren't over there. They weren't over there humping on the pit. If they were humping on the pit bull, it was the other way around.
Said at dog parks, you got to have rules. You got to have the dog on the leash. So if I see all they dogs running around, I'm gonna let my dog run around. Now, if it's a problem, I agree. You got to intervene.
Rule? So you had to have your dog on the leash? They inside of a fence?
No, inside a dog park usually is.
No, they inside of a fence.
Inside of the dog park usually you take the you can take the leash off. But if your dog, but it's kind of the unwritten rule, like the dogs are kind of be. I mean, there's gonna be little, okay, they're pets, they're gonna jump around and stuff like that. But if he's up here trying to hump the mess out of all these other little dogs, then maybe you need to go over there and get control of your dog. And obviously he wasn't doing that.
Like he about to call the police right now.
Yeah, man.
He angry.
He just texted him. He hit the police text line.
Look, Ryan. We went to Chuck E. Cheese, and we went to a little bouncy castle place, man. Like, man, it all goes back to like the people that are watching. Like, man, there was this kid there. A little girl, little Hispanic girl. There was a bunch of Hispanic people in there, right? My peoples. Man, like they had these big inflatables. This one little girl just got a big ice cream cone. This girl couldn't have been but maybe 5-6 years old. She walked around with like a 18-inch ice cream cone in her hand, and she's going up the inflatable with one hand, trying to climb up this huge like inflatable ladder with this ice cream just dripping, melting everywhere. And my kid's trying to go up behind her. And I'm just like, come on back down, because there's just ice cream all over. I was like, man, this is nasty. Like, where is like the people that are working in there to tell this girl to get down? Where are the parents to tell this girl, like, what the hell are you thinking? Get your ass off that damn inflatable. Go eat this damn ice cream, then go up there. Don't try to carry that mess up there with you.
That's a fact. It is some etiquette that you do have to abide by.
And so my kid was sitting there trying to go up the ladder behind her, and it was like a big, you had to climb up there, like maybe 10, 15 steps, and a big slide back down. And I just told him, come on, man, get up off there. We leaving, because you're not about to get all this ice cream all over you, because this other girl just want to go out and have her fun, and her parents don't want to.
So did you call the cops?
No, they called the cops. But I was looking around like, where are like the people supposed to be working here? They all ain't nobody paying attention, and the parents ain't paying attention. But I blame the parent. I blame the parents. Like, hey, you just bought your kid a big old ice cream cone. She can't be but 6 years old. She ain't got no money. So you must have just bought it for her, but you ain't paying no attention. And gonna let her climb this thing and get ice cream all over this mess, so that the next kid come here and get ants, gets nasty. Whatever, man. It's just.
So what's y'all rule to these etiquette situations, and how do you handle them? Like, do you just let it go and you kind of roll your eyes? Or you leave the situation, or you call their parents over and be like, whose child is this? Do you do that? Like, how you handle it? Because we had a little run in the park. Once when Trenton was maybe 2 or 3 years old, old girl was told my wife, whose kid is this? Because Trenton threw some sand, and apparently got in her little soft kid's eye. His kids throw sand.
Not soft kids.
Yeah, his eyes was apparently soft. Like, everybody has had sand thrown in their eyes. I'm sorry. He never been to the park. He never seen sand before. He wanted to throw it.
Yeah.
This is what happens. And then I say, don't throw the sand anymore, Trenton. And then we good. But, in the meantime, you can't just be talking about something, come get your kids like like they just committed a crime.
Yo, man, like I said, for me, man, I got to be on my kid. My kid don't listen to a word we say. So, like, man, if there's sand there, he wants to throw it, or it's toys, he's going to try to take it and, like, from the other kids. So, man, we just got to be Johnny on the spot, man. Me and my wife just, like, hey, we separate them and get them out of there, because we know it could be problems, man. So it just be attentive, man. That's my thing. But yeah, I ain't gonna pay. I mean, I've never been in a situation where another parent just really ain't doing their job, where I'm gonna go tell on them or something like that. But like, if there's a kid just out do it, like we've been in a couple places where like kids just too big to be in there. Like, they jumping on the inflatables man, you like 5, 6, cool. But man, you like 12, 13 years old, and you got like 3 or 4 13-year-olds in there. Man, they can. That's problems, man. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan? You know what I'm talking about, yo.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's just like hey,
I usually tell the kids, man, like I'll just talk to the kid and be like, hey, don't do that. I ain't finna keep talking to him. Let's be like, don't do that.
Or I'm like, man, I'll be just like, hey, go over there. Like, go over there. You know what I'm saying? But, like, man.
Oh, where your mom at?
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. But, like, let's, like, anyway, man, get away from my kid. That's all I can say. Get away from my kid. I keep my kid away from you. You get away from my kid.
What you think, Ish?
About kids or in general?
Let's just talk about in general the etiquette. Because it's really an etiquette question here with this dog. Yeah. I don't think it was as racial as they try to make it out to be. In this case, maybe because they called the cops, but just etiquette in general.
The thing is a guy, what's his name, Franklin Baxley or Mr. Baxley, he said that when the initial occurrence happened, when his dog went and started humping on another dog, he said he told the dog to stop. He apologized to the woman, like, hey, my bad. And he said the first thing she said was, I'm going to call the police. So it wasn't like she even had that conversation like, hey, you get your dog, you need to put your dog on a leash. It was just he went to her to apologize. If his story is true, I said, sorry, let me take care of this. And she's like, I'm calling the police, and pulled out her phone to call the cops. So if that's what happened, that's her weaponizing the police against black people. Like, there is a certain etiquette.
Was the dog
like
black?
I said, the dog was black.
It was black actually.
Pit bull. Right.
Maybe his dog. Maybe it was just it was sexual assault.
Now I do feel like you have to be accountable for your pets. And like I said, if your dog is out there doing that, yeah, throw him on the leash, get him together. But if she called the cops, if that was the first step, if there wasn't a conversation that happened before then, I can see if she said, hey, handle your dogs, or if we talking about kids, hey, get your kid threw some sand in my kid's eyes. And if you come back like, man, forget that. Like, Ryan, if you came back to her like, man, your kid's eyes is soft. What are you talking about?
Right.
Now, at that point, all right, now we're going to escalate. I still think there's a conversation that you have before you go straight to the police. But if this person's just defiant against you, now, who knows if the man's telling the truth? But just reading what he's saying in this story, it seemed like she just went straight to the police. And we've seen that plenty of times, so I don't feel like that's difficult to believe.
Yeah, my part is that just the employee that's working there that kind of like sided with the lady, so she must have seen something like he was humping on other dogs, and that's what it sounded like from the article I read. So that kind of leads me the way I feel on this one.
Also, important to the story, although they don't mention it, was dogs be doing the simulated hump where they just really just humping, or was this actually trying to do something?
You get to look
because if it's actually like being a rapey dog, you gotta get that dog.
Could you see the? Could you see the pink? Could you see the pink? Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, dog.
So you're saying doggy intent matters. The doggy intent matters.
Doggy intent does matter.
Hey, look, man. Dog is just like me. If you get up in that stance, if you get up in that power stance, you better do something. You in the danger zone. That's all I know.
All right.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
There. Right, we about to go into dangerous territory, so let's go to
Ryan's mom is definitely not subscribing to this one anymore.
Don't worry, she hasn't listened since episode 20. All right. Hate having 2 stories in a row. Virginia be out here tripping too is our next topic. The First Lady of Virginia handed out cotton to African-American children while on a slave cottage tour. This is a story I found on CNN from February 28th. Did y'all get a chance to read this story? The young children here claim that so everybody in the tour was not black. There were it said I think a couple children were black. They called them pages. Okay, it's pretty formal. But she specifically looked at them and said, how would it feel to pick cotton all day? And she didn't address any of the other kids, just handed the little black kids the cotton. So is she just messing with black people out here, or was it a harmless teaching moment? Paul, what you think?
Man, it probably was a harmless teach moment, but this family, like, hey, look, man, I lived in Virginia for a little while. Like, man, get this whole damn family up out of here, man. Look, man, the black dude in the dog park, you Jussie Smollett, but these folks right here, they're wrong. Get them up out of here, man. They're trash, man. I don't know what's going on with them, but just they just don't be thinking about the optics of nothing, man. They got to go. Just get them out of there, man. We need somebody better in Virginia, please.
Yeah, it's the same woman who her husband was rocking the blackface. You know, so you got the blackface
but then did the Michael Jackson, but couldn't do the moonwalk.
Right. You got the Secretary of State in blackface, and you got the Lieutenant Governor got his sexual assault charges. So yeah, Virginia's definitely on one right now. They just need to really just clean that whole political spectrum out, because they're trying to be the new Florida. Like, they want to be the Florida of, I don't know, I guess not the
Florida of Missouri. Hold on now, let's not talk about Missouri now.
Florida.
Let's not forget about the Missouri governor.
You can talk about Missouri too. Missouri be wilding too, but Virginia's on another one right now.
Yeah, it's just, man, the lady she need to keep a low profile, man. Just like, hey, your husband been in some hot water here lately, man. Y'all barely hanging on to political life as it is, man. Just chill out. Don't even talk to the kids. Just give them some candy and call it a day.
Look, I'm gonna play white lady's advocate right now.
That's because that's your favorite. That's what you want to do.
Hey, somebody got to play white lady's advocate. We always throwing the white women under the bus.
Captain Save him. Captain Save him right here.
Now, y'all have been in this situation, I'm sure, where you were touring some type of a thing about slavery, and y'all all got to look at the cotton inside the husk. Have you done that before, Ishmael?
Not.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Wow. Okay.
Nobody's
well, I've been somewhere where we did.
Before,
they didn't give you a T-shirt. You didn't give you a T-shirt one time. Like, you went to a 5K and they gave you a T-shirt. That's slavery right there, my brother.
Well, I've been to one, and they hand you the
polyester.
cotton. They hand you the cotton just so you can check it out and see what it looks like. It's not everybody was black. It's a black thing that you're at. So yeah, they're gonna show you what cotton is. Now, I don't know. Maybe the lady was racist and she only showed it to the black kids. I mean, but it's one of those things. If there's cotton on the table, apparently you were supposed to pass the cotton around.
But it's not. I don't think the issue is that she gave them the cotton alone. Because if it is a cotton museum, that's a place where you expect, or if it's a slavery museum or whatever, that's a place where you might expect to see some cotton. But I think the biggest thing was she gave it to them and asked them if they could imagine what it would have been to pick cotton all day. And that's where you're trying to tell them, it seemed like she's trying to feel it out. Like, hey, think about what it would be like to pick cotton and, we'll give you 25 cents. Like, she was trying to get some employees out of it or something like that.
I don't think it would have been that bad.
I mean, she didn't say, would you like to come work for me?
I don't think it would have been
like
bad,
she said, would y'all like to come
hand.
work for me? She didn't say that. It wasn't a couple purple situation.
She had the bullwhip. If she didn't have the bullwhip in her hand, I think this would have passed, man. But she had the bullwhip right there, and that kind of threw the kids off, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Get out of here, man.
Would y'all like to come work
Husband
for
was in blackface. The same time. Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah, get him out
of
here.
Who knows? Man. Like Paul said, it could have been just something that she just didn't think about. But especially when you're in a situation where now all eyes are on you, you know that people are looking at what you're doing, you have to be cognizant of those things. And it just seemed like they're those people that are like, we don't see race, but yet you just doing racist things all the time. So you better be more aware.
It sounded like she was trying to make a point about how horrible slavery could be, but I don't know. It just kind of sounded bad. But also it's the article, and it's just
tone deaf.
But it's also like you just gotta. It's like Trump, man. You just gotta know, like, no matter what you do, like it's gonna get even it probably is bad, but no matter what you say or do, it's gonna get construed in the press to make it to sound even worse than what it was. So just lay low, man. Just lay low. You don't have to do nothing, man. Just give them some candy and just say, hey, man, good job for being pages and go about your day, man. That's it. You ain't got to teach them a lesson right now. They'll figure that out from school, man. They'll figure that out. They're cool. Anyway.
Good job making it out of slavery.
Wonder if they only buy cottonelle toilet tissue. Racist people.
That's the good stuff right there. Now that's too expensive for me. That's too expensive for my taste.
Obama's face on it. All right. These topics.
Depressing.
Right.
Yeah, these are depressing topics.
This one we can zip through. We don't need to have a deep conversation about this, but I feel like it's still worth discussing. So this actually is a couple of weeks old, to where Christopher Paul, I don't know how to say that.
You didn't put that name in there. You didn't put that in there. Come on now.
You said what? Hey. Oh, Paul.
I see what you're up to.
Christopher Paul. All right, Christopher Boxwine Poppy Hessen. Anyway, this happened a couple of weeks ago in Maryland, where we had a Caucasian gentleman who was a former military man, a lieutenant, or not former, a current military man, maybe former as of today, but at the time he was a lieutenant in the Coast Guard, and this gentleman had a hit list of Democratic politicians and famous
folks,
people, newscasters, people who are more liberal in nature, and he had this hit list. And not only did he have a hit list, but he also had quite a armory, basically, of guns and weapons, and had this plan to go kill a bunch of people. Included in that was Auntie Maxine Waters. Like I said, there were some news individuals. There were some, let's see, who else? Don Lemon, Joe Scarborough, Van Jones, Cory Booker, Kristen Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. So all these people he was planning to kill, Nancy Pelosi, got busted. But you haven't heard one single word out of the president's mouth. A lot of you, if you don't follow up with the news, you may not even heard about this.
Nope.
Domestic terrorist. If his name was Hassan instead of Hassan, I guarantee you would have heard about it. But because it's a white guy in America, I'm looking at this picture, I see, about 15 guns, just loads and loads of ammunition. You got some flak jackets, all that. But it didn't really make national news like that. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. I have my thoughts on what the reason was, but see what you guys thought the reason were, or if you even heard about it at all.
I definitely heard about it.
I had not.
I definitely heard about it. I mean, like, the other crazy part about this was that this man was basically, like, compiling his, like, kill list and manifesto all on his work computer, which is wild, because that's definitely being tracked. But then again, he is in the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard, like, as me being in the military at one time, nobody counts the Coast Guard as the real military. I'm sorry, fellas. Y'all might get a gun. Y'all get right around a boat. Y'all really not the military. But hey, good job, man.
And I will say, I talked about being an IT before. I will say, being an IT person, people do a lot of stupid stuff on their computers.
Word.
Leave it at that.
Word. Go ahead. But yeah, so man, but like your point about nothing being talked about at the at the presidential level. I mean, it's not surprising. It's like the same thing. Puerto Rico, all the devastation. It took days, weeks for him to make a comment, and then but then just yesterday there was like maybe 12 dead in Alabama from tornadoes. He's already pledging FEMA to give that state A1 service is what he called it today. Give them top-notch service, make sure they get all their needs taken care of for, still, it's a tragedy, but not that many people, not in the big scheme of things, it wasn't a large amount of people that died compared to, California wildfires, Puerto Rico, where it took him weeks and months to even respond to the stuff. So it's just how it is, man.
And so, Ryan, you said you hadn't heard about it until we brought it up?
Nope. This is the kind of serious news that I avoid.
Yeah, right. If it does not occur in the Marvel comic universe, Ryan does not know about it. That's really how this goes.
Gotta be in the MCU. Yeah, if it's not in the MCU, I'm out.
But I bet you, if it was Bin Laden's son, I guarantee you would have heard about it. Even if you tried
I heard
to
about
avoid
Bin Laden's son. They're looking for him, right? Because he's the head of Al Qaeda now.
Yeah, they say he's stepping up big.
Moving
up. You heard about that, but you didn't hear about this terrorist right here in America planning to shoot up people.
Yeah.
So that's it. We all know why. We know what it is, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. So just wanted to talk about that. So we don't have to waste any more time on that.
Yeah,
cool. Let's get into some funny news.
Word.
All right, I added this, so y'all probably will have to even refresh your screen to even see it.
Nah,
but we can't go a week without talking about this Abducted in Plain Sight, the documentary on Netflix. I know myself and Paul have watched it. Ishmael, did you watch this documentary?
Nope.
Oh, come on, man.
Did y'all tell me to watch it?
No, we didn't tell you, but I figured everybody been talking about it.
We talked about it in the group chat. Me and Ron were going back and forth.
But you know, Ishmael been AWOL this last couple weeks. I be talking and y'all don't even be responding.
Weeks, months, man.
Yeah. I don't know what he doing. He think he got a real job now. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so me and Paul got a chance to watch it. I watched it just because every podcast I listen to has watched it, and the jokes have been hilarious. And I knew the whole story anyway, but I was like, let me hear it for myself out of these people's mouths. And it was still one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life.
Man, Ryan, this is see now, Ryan, this is like me. I don't really watch Ish, you know this about me too. I don't watch sci-fi. Like Ryan is all into all this, Star Wars, Star Trek, all this mess. Like I've never been into any of that crap. Man, give me a documentary about some true life stuff, and it's always going to be much wilder, much more interesting than any movie. And this is case in point right here. Man, if you try to write a plot with this movie, like no one would believe it. But
nobody would believe it. They'd be like, "That's ridiculous."
And it's insane. Yeah, this wouldn't even make it like this wouldn't even make it on, I don't know, like Hulu or something.
It wouldn't be on Lifetime. It wouldn't be on Lifetime Super Sundays or none of that.
Right.
It wouldn't make it.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So I mean, we gotta spoil it. I'm gonna spoil it, man. It doesn't matter. You can watch it anyway.
No,
nothing we can tell you.
I'm taking off my headset.
Nothing. You
I don't want to
hear
know.
it. Oh, well, you need to definitely watch it anyway. But yeah. Just watch it.
Yo, look again. Just like okay. So let's just blend this in with other stuff I want to talk about. So the Abducted Plain Sight, man. It's nasty. It's wild. It's definitely worth the interest. I kind of lost interest after about 30 minutes in because it was kind of like, okay, you kind of get the gist and it's just gonna get nastier. But I watched that documentary on Michael Jackson on Sunday or yesterday. It's the same thing, man. But it's like what we're talking about in the group chat, man. It's all go back to the parents, man. These parents are all idiots, man. Stupid, these are the dumbest people in the man. People do not need to deserve to have kids. Man, there needs to be like a background check, and you have to do some kind of like SAT score thing just to have kids, man. Nowadays, that's what I think.
The things that those parents were allowing that daughter to do with that guy. And I'm not talking about anything physical.
The parents were doing
just right. The fact that a grown man was asking to hang out with your daughter who's 12 and between 12 and 15, and you're just like, oh, okay, sure, go ahead.
Yo, dog,
that is ridiculous.
I don't have no daughters, but if there's any dude above the age of beyond puberty that's offering to do anything around my house, I'm gonna put up a wall. I'm gonna build a bedroom for you. Or a door. I'm gonna paint for you. I'm gonna hang up a poster. Hell, baby, you don't get the hell up out of my house, man.
Right. You ain't just the most helpful dude of all time.
Word, man. Like no grown. Look, man. I got 100 projects in my own house. I'm not going over to somebody else's house for their kid to go do something for them. Man, are you high?
Right. Like, oh yeah, I'll pick her up from school. Don't worry about it. I'll give her a medicine too. What? No, bro, you're not finna do that. You're not finna do none of that.
But yeah, and that's the same thing with the Michael Jackson thing, man. I watched that. Like, it's just like some of the stuff was believable. I mean, it's not as compelling as the R. Kelly because it's just not the number of alleged victims. But the stuff they're talking about is super graphic. It is compelling, but it's kind of like, man. And they got the parents on there. Their parents on there like corroborating stuff. But it's like, what were y'all thinking? Y'all just were blinded by the money and getting to stay in Neverland, man. Get up out of here, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Ain't no way. If my kid came to their Neverland with me, we can be in Neverland. But hey, guess what? At nighttime, we sleeping in Neverland. He gonna sleep in my bed with me, or near where I can see him. Not with some grown 30-year-old man with glitter all over his balls. Nah, it ain't happening, man.
But yeah, man. I said it in the group chat, and I'm gonna say it again. Like the whole Michael Jackson story, although I'm not on his side saying that he's innocent or anything, dude, was weird. It's a strong possibility that those things are true, but those quote unquote victims, or let's say alleged victims, both were grown men in 2005 when they testified. So don't testify and then say something, and then 10 years later, after this dude is dead, after his death, you come back and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I was lying there. Here's the truth." Because I don't want to hear it.
Man, it's just, I hear what you're saying, man. My thing is like with all this stuff, like the Catholic. I mean, just let's not even talk about Michael. It's just about like Catholic priests. All even that girl from the Abducted place. It's like, I mean, they're
bad things happen to people.
Man, but there's shame, there's stigma, and then when you talk about dude on dude, you're talking about like you bringing the whole gay aspect into it, man. It's complicated, man. And plus, like, at least one of the two dudes, like, one of those dudes is really successful. Like, he's, like, a super in-demand, or was at one time, like, choreographer. Like, that dude is, like, done it all in the music industry.
Both of them look like some male models, so I figured they were just trying to get their career.
I don't know who the other dude is, but no, the other dude was really, even, I guess, while all that, before, all, like, this came out, I mean, this dude was really super, like, he's, like, Britney Spears choreographer. I mean, this dude has done Super Bowl commercials, Super Bowl, halftime shows, all kinds of stuff. One dude, at least. They didn't talk about that in the documentary, but I was just kind of reading about it afterwards. And I kind of vaguely, recall seeing his face. Dude can dance, but so maybe there was just like a stigma, not wanting to affect their career. At least one of the dudes had a really strong career going. Why you want to mess it up with, bring up these old allegations or or whatever. I mean, so I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But man, parents, man. Hey, parents, man. If you don't ever let your kids sleep with people that you don't know, man. That's it. And if anybody is showing interest in your kids that ain't family or somebody really, really close to you, you gotta trust them with suspicion. Look, man, Ryan. If Ryan was like, "I'm just gonna take your kids," that's straight, man. But like, because me and Ryan known each other for decades.
That's because you know, there's no way I'm gonna say that.
Right, and also because Ryan don't want his kid. Ryan trying to give him his kids. Like, man, get my kids up out of here. So that ain't never gonna happen. So like, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Just parenting. Ugh. Ish, are you back now? You made your sandwich or your T-bone steak?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we's here.
We didn't spoil nothing, so just watch it, man, so we can talk about it, and we'll put it on the docket for next week.
But ain't no way you're gonna come in. But going back to Adulting Place, ain't no way you're gonna bang me, my wife. You ain't gonna bang my whole family, man. Ain't happening, dog.
Right.
I don't care.
And then if you did, I ain't getting no camera and telling you that it happened.
Look, man. And if you do, you ain't gonna look like Ned Flanders when you walk up in. You better look like a homie from Creed with the pecs going or something.
It's just a sad story.
Y'all still managed to ruin it.
No, we didn't, man. I'm telling you. I heard it word for word what was said, and I still laughed for so long after he actually said it and I saw it come out of his mouth. It's still worth it, man. Just watch it.
Man, let's
because we ain't telling you none of it. We ain't telling you. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. Just listen. Watch.
Let's end this on a high note, man. We'll call it a day on the rest of the topics, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was definitely going to say. Only do one or the other, but if y'all want to end it there, that's all
let's do
good
this.
with me.
We'll pick this up later next time, man.
Okay. All right, well. That episode was whack, and we ended pretty close, pretty abruptly. So just like, nope, let's just stop it. All right. Time Nazis win again.
Shut it down.
If you all, if they want to find us, Ishmael, where can they find the podcast?
Yo, you can find the podcast on your local back page, page D1.
No, Craigslist.
Just pause.
No, yeah. All right. You can find the Black Delegates Podcast. We are on the Facebook. You can email us if you got any feedback, if you got any show topic ideas, if you got any questions. You can email us at theblackdelegatespod@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can hit us up on Twitter and on Instagram at Black Delegates. There's an underscore between Black and Delegates. If you want to follow Boxed Wine Poppy, he is at Boxed Wine Poppy on Twitter. The Black Ryan is at The Black Ryan on Twitter, and I am at Ish Creates, that's ISH Creates, on Twitter and Instagram. Paul, people want to help out the pod. What can they do?
Rate us and review us and tell a friend. And yo, before I get out of here, I want to say shout out. Rest in peace to the homie Luke Perry, Dylan from 90210. We all know we don't want to admit it, but we all watched that show. That dude was the GOAT, 35-year-old dude pretending to be in high school.
Right.
I always like tripping off his hairline because I was like, man, that dude's hairline is weak as hell up in high school. Like, how is that possible? But whatever. But rest in peace to that dude.
Yeah. Shout out to Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear,
what she's up to? Yeah, what's she up to?
She wasn't in 90210, man. That's a whole different show.
She wasn't. Who am I thinking about?
You talking about?
Are you sure?
Jenny Garth or something like that, man. Man, why you got me calling Rand? Remember these dumb
That's her.
names,
I'm about to look it up. Come on, bro.
Nah, Heather Locklear was like she was like in that Melrose Place or something like that, man. I think that's the other show. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm black. I don't know the difference. It's the same. Just white people doing stuff. All right. With that being said, we're gonna shut it down because there's nothing else to talk about. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this whack episode, and we will be back next week for episode 53.
Stop.
Hopefully, Ishmael watched whatever the name of the documentary is.
And we also need to hear about your Lakers next time too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we put that on there too. So, all right, peace.
Peace.
It's my signature sound.